LC OSM on the launch countdown net. LC OSM on launch countdown net. LC, this is OSM on the launch countdown net.
OSM, this is LCA.
Yes, I'm going to step away for 5 minutes.
Yep.
LC, this is the Rockman countdown.
This is LCA on the countdown.
Can you please pass us that recycle time over the net?
Bye. In work.
LC, this is Rock on Countdown Net.
And Rock LC, go ahead, sir.
Just wanted to verify you're looking at a recycle time of 2 hours and 20 minutes.
That's affirmative. We are evaluating that now. Recycle time of 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're close to asking for that time and a new T0.
Copy that.
LC, this is the RCO on Countdown Net with an update for the Cape UCS 207407.
This is LCA on the countdown now. Go ahead.
Yes, the Cape UCS 207407 remains NMC. They're still receiving no timing from the optical site computer to the key generator. Text will be replacing the computer again. We'll have another status update at 0425 Zulu. Range status is not proceeding due to unknown T0.
Copy that. New T0's in work.
Copy.
ROC, LC, and a primary count on that?
Rock.
Yes, sir. We would like you to coordinate a new T0. The new T0 we're looking for is 238:06:04:00 Zulu. We'd like to pick up the count at T-minus 2 hours and 25 minutes, and we'd like to pick it up at 238:03:39:00 Zulu. Do you copy that, sir?
Copy that, and stand by.
Roger.
LC, this is Rock on Countdown Net.
Rock, LC, go ahead.
Waiting. Stand by.
Standing by.
LC, this is Rock.
Go ahead, sir.
Letting you know your new T0 request of 06:04 Zulu with the countdown resumption time of 03:39 Zulu has been approved.
Copy that, sir. And at this time, the LC will give status on the net. All stations will report to page 145, step number 1. Step number 1, the plan of action for the team is to pick up the count at a time of 03:39 UTC or Zulu, and we'll pick up the count at T-minus 2 hours and 25. We'll be working towards a new launch time of 238:06:04:00 Zulu. And at this time, I'd like to get a weather brief on the WeatherNet from the elbow. this is the LC on the countdown net with a status. We're currently standing by step number 2, page 36. Prior to that, we will enter the new T0 coordination checklist on page 145, Appendix F of the Minotaur launch checklist. Plan of action is to pick up the count at a time of 3:39 UTC in approximately 1 minute. We'll pick it up at T-minus 2 hours and 25 minutes. We'll be looking towards a new launch time of 238:06:04:00 Zulu. We've completed a weather brief on the WeatherNet. Check step 1, check step 2. And all stations, the new launch time is year 2017, day 238, hour 06, minute 04, second 00 Zulu. Check step 3. Step 4, ROC, reset range clocks to new launch time. And ROC, step 4, page 145, reset range clocks to new launch time, report when complete.
Rock copies. Range clocks have been reset and standing by.
Copy that, and the count is proceeding. The new launch time. This is the LC directing launch personnel to pick up the count on page 36, step 2, at 03:39 UTC or Zulu, at a time of T-minus 2 hours and 25 minutes. Check step 4 and 5. We're counting down at this time. Step number 2, pad status site preparations and report readiness to start final arming and closeout. And OSM, please move to the engineering net, anomaly 3, to speak with CE. And pad status site preparations and report readiness to start final arming and closeout.
Site preparations complete, ready to start final arming and closeout.
Copy that. Check step 2. Step 3, this is the LC providing a site status. The launch site is green and ready to start final arming. Check step 3. Step 4, SVTC, verify spacecraft ready for final arming. Battery monitor only.
This is SVTC. Spacecraft ready, battery monitor only confirmed.
Copy that. Check step 4. Step 5, this is the LC with a poll for readiness for final arming and vehicle closeout. All stations report go. VM.
VM is go.
BLC.
BLC is go.
PCC.
PCC is go.
VC.
VC is go.
FTS.
FTS is go.
ORBTM.
ORBTM go.
GNC.
GNC go.
OME.
OME's go.
CE.
CE's go.
MM.
MM is go.
SVTC.
SVTC is go.
OSM.
OSM go.
BTM.
BTM's go.
ROC. And ROC status range.
Rock copies, range status is proceeding.
Copy that. Orbital.
Orbital go.
SVMD.
SVMD go.
LD.
LD go.
PAD.
Pad go.
Copy that. Check step 5. Step 6. CE, evaluate weather criteria for booster exposure limit times and thermal barrier removal.
Proceeding.
And PAD, make a vehicle closeout announcement.
Proceeding.
And step 7, CE, report action plan for thermal barrier removal. Check step 6.
The thermal barrier will be removed.
Copy that. Check step 7. And PAD, please announce status of Step 8. OSM, verify hazardous areas clear of non-essential personnel. Announce start of hazardous operations and verify area warning light is amber.
Proceeding.
Copy that.
LC, this is Pat.
Go ahead, sir.
Announcement complete.
Check Step 8. At this time, I'd like to perform Step number 11. We're going to perform Step number 11 prior to Step number 10. Step number 11, PAD, roll gantry to stowed position. Report when complete.
Proceeding.
Copy that.
LCLDB off station for 3 minutes.
Copy that.
LC, this is OSM.
OSM, go ahead, sir.
You can verify that launch site is amber and ready for final arming vehicle closeout.
Copy that. Check Step 9. And OSM, just as status, we've kicked off Step number 11, rolling the gantry to stowed position at 343 UTC.
OSM copies.
Elwow, this is Pat on the primary countdown net.
And Elwow, PAD, please move to the primary countdown net. Elwow, LC, move to the primary countdown net.
This Elwow on countdown net.
Yeah, can we get a current wind speed at LC-46?
Stand by. Sustained wind speed is 13, gust 20, and from 196, so 200 degrees. And it just updated to 14 sustained, gust 20. I'll copy.
Copy that. Our wind constraint for rolling is 30 miles an hour, approximately 26 knots. Do you see any forecast for exceeding that?
That's a sustained constraint, correct?
That's correct.
No, I don't see a sustained 26 knot. Correct.
Copy that. Thank you. Pat out.
And you're on the countdown then.
LD back on station.
Copy that.
Copy that, and there's no concerns if we have to come back in with our guys working around those lights, correct? All right, CE copies, C out.
And all stations in the launch conductor are on primary count on that with the status. We are currently complete through step number 9 and moving the mobile access shelter back away from the vehicle into the launch position at this time. Currently the range is proceeding. Weather is go. The launch vehicle is proceeding and is working no issues. The SV and ground stations are proceeding and working no issues. LC out. And LC is off console, LCA cover.
LC, this is the rock on countdown.
This is LCA, go ahead.
On to accomplish range safety COLA processing. On to verify you are in receipt of COLA. Date time group 25 August 2017. Time of 19:03:53. Verify no COLA at current T0.
Verified.
And rock copies.
and pad LC on the continent, looking for completion time on step 11.
LC, this is pad.
Go ahead, sir.
Gantry roll complete at 0410 UTC.
Copy that. And temperature?
81 degrees.
Copy that, and I got the 14 knots earlier. Check step number 11. Step 10, pad, perform remainder of WP 334375, L-0 arming.
Final vehicle closeout and work to completion.
Copy that. Check step 10, standing by step 12. and all stations of the LCN and primary countdown net with a status. We're currently complete through step number 11, page 37 of the final arming and vehicle closeout checklist. We're standing by final arming, step number 12, and site evacuation. We're currently working towards a launch time of 6:04 Zulu.
LC, this is the RCO on Countdown Net.
Go ahead, RCO.
We have an update to the Cine 407 outage.
Go ahead.
Yes, techs are still troubleshooting. We have a new status update time of 0525 Zulu. How copy, LC?
We copy. And pad, this is the LC and a primary countdown at standing by step number 12, completion of vehicle arming, vehicle closeout, and launch site preparations.
Stand by and work.
Elbow, stand by.
LC, this is Pat on the primary countdown net.
Go ahead, sir.
WP 33, 43, 75 complete. Launch day RBF checklist complete.
Copy that. Check step 12, step 13. Pad begins site evacuation, and pad, what is, I'll call you in the countdown on the landline.
Copy that.
And pad LC, step 13, begin site evacuation.
Proceeding.
Copy that. Check step 13. Step 14, OSIM, begin area clear for launch.
Proceeding.
Copy that. Check step 14. Step 15, VM, power up the launch support equipment per WP33-83295.
Proceeding.
Copy that. Standing by step number 14 and 15. SVTC, verify spacecraft ready for final launch operations. Oh, SVTC, standby. You copy that? SVTC, copy, standby. And SVTC, standby, step number 16. Do you copy?
Copy that.
Standing by. Elbow, this is LC and the countdown net. Let's proceed to step number 17, weather brief on the weather net.
Elbow copies.
And Elbow, And OSM LC on the countdown net. Can you meet me on the backup countdown net? And OSM actually, go ahead. Are you ready to call step number 14 on the countdown net?
This is OSM.
Yes, sir. Are you ready to call step number 14, that we're clear of the launch site?
Still in work.
Copy that. In all stations, we've completed the weather brief at step number 17. Check step 17. The weather is go for our current launch window and current launch time.
LC, this is OME on the countdown net.
OME, LC, go ahead, sir.
I'll be briefly off station.
Copy that. Oh.
LC, this is VM.
VMLC, go ahead.
LSC powered up, ready to proceed.
Copy that. Check step 15. And OSIM standing by pad clear of the roadblock 15.
LC, OME,
Go ahead, OME.
back on station.
Copy that.
LC, this is OSM.
Go ahead, sir.
Area's clear for launch.
Copy that. Check step 14. And all stations, check step 16. SVTC, verify spacecraft ready for final launch operations.
SVTC, spacecraft ready for final operations confirmed.
Copy that. Check step 16. At this time, we close the Minotaur final arming and vehicle closeout checklist, page 38. And we enter the Minotaur final launch checklist. This is the LC with a poll for readiness to proceed with Minotaur LV. Power up all stations. Report go. VM.
VM is go.
BLC.
BLC is go.
PCC.
PCC is go.
VC.
VC
is go.
FTS,
STS is go.
ORBTM,
ORBTM go.
GNC,
GNC is go.
SVTC,
SVTC is go.
MM,
MM is go.
CE,
CE is go.
ROC, range status.
Range status is proceeding.
Copy that. Check step 1. Step 2, ORBTM, begin data recording.
Recorder on.
Check step 2, PCC, power on, vehicle GN2 cooling.
Vehicle GN2 cooling on.
Check step 3, PCC, disable ODMREs.
ODMREs disabled.
Check step 4, PCC, power on all keep alive circuits.
Proceeding.
Copy that.
All keep alives on.
Check step 4.1. Step 5, PCC, apply avionics external power for the following systems.
Proceeding. Avionics Mach. Vehicle encoder. Booster Mach. ISA Mach. SIGI. Flight computer. ACS fairing PTs. Stage 1 PTs. Stage 2 PTs. Stage 3 PTs. Vehicle transmitter. GPB-A. AFTU Mach. ISA ACS PTs. Zodiac camera. Zodiac Mach. Zodiac transmitter. Required avionics on external power.
Check step 5, VC, enable transmitter power for the following.
Proceeding. Transmitters power enabled.
Check step 6, RCO, verify AOS for link 40, 60, 70, and 85.
Proceeding in work.
Copy that. And RCO, begin S-band open loop signal strength verification.
Proceeding in work.
Copy that. Check step 8. Step 9, PCC, apply internal power on for the following systems.
Proceeding. VDM internal power on.
Check step 9, ORBTM,
LC, RCO,
verify vehicle
net.
data at telemetry decom consoles via hardline. Go ahead, RCO.
AOS all links.
Check step 7.
Receiving telemetry via hardline. Data nominal.
Check step 10, VM, verify BCMs in flight mode.
BCM's in flight mode.
Check step 11, VM, verify flight computer is in standby mode.
Flight computer's in standby mode.
Go ahead, check step 12, VC, verify Mach, checksum results per appendix echo.
Proceeding.
Yeah, and RCOLC on the primary countdown net, we haven't turned on the transponder yet. You copy that?
LC, this is the RCO. We're confirming a vehicle S-band transponder turned on.
S-band transmitters were turned on at approximately 0508 Zulu. Do you copy that?
0508 Zulu. RCO
Yep.
copies.
Step 6, page 40.
LC, this is SVTC.
SVTC, LC, go ahead, sir.
I would like to top off the charge during the next half hour. Is that okay?
That's affirmative. Continue. LC up.
Roger.
NRCO LC with an update on the transmitter power on time. It was 0505 Zulu.
RCO copies. 0505 Zulu.
And all stations were currently complete through step number 12, standing by step 13 of the Minotaur final launch checklist. The SV is working, no issues. The LV is working, no issues. And the range is currently go for weather. LCO.
LC, this is VC on Countdown Net.
VC, go ahead, sir.
Checksum results are satisfactory for step 13, sorry.
Copy that. Check step 13. VM confirm mock checksum results.
Checksum results satisfactory.
Check step 14. PCC evaluate vehicle voltage and current.
Proceeding. External power nominal.
Copy that. Check step 15. Step 16. PCC turn internal power off for VDMs.
VDM internal power off.
Check 16 RCO, read back S-band open loop signal strengths, ORB-TM. Switch vehicle decoms to range feed.
In work.
Copy that, standby. LC, this is the RCO, it's in work.
Copy that.
Decom switch to range feed, data nominal.
Copy that. Check step number 18. That's ORB-TM, switch vehicle decoms to vehicle hardline.
In work.
Copy that.
Decom switch to vehicle hardline. Data nominal.
Check step 19. Standing by step 20. Awaiting readback of signal strengths from RCO. And all stations at this time, we're going to move to step 24, page 45. VC, verify SIGI initialization setup is complete per Appendix C.
Initialization information confirmed. Setup is complete.
Check step 24, VM, verify SIGI in standby mode.
SIGI in standby mode, ready to proceed.
Check step 25, VC, command SIGI to GC align.
GC align, send on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Check step 26. VM, verify SIGI and GC align.
Proceeding. SIGI and GC align.
Check 27.
And VM confirmed, check step number 27. VM confirmed, SIGI alignment complete.
Proceeding.
And all stations, it's the launch conductor with the status on the primary countdown that we're currently complete through step number 27, standing by SIGI alignment on step number 28. We expect that at approximately 0520 Zulu. We're currently holding open step 17 and steps 20 through 23 on page 44. Waiting readback of S-band open loop signal strength parameters.
LC, this is the RCO on Countdown Net with
Go
an
ahead.
update to the Cine 407 UCS 20.
Copy that. Go ahead.
The Cine 407 at site UCS 20 remains PMC. The techs have replaced the OSCS with the serial parallel card, and it's good up and running. Currently, it's still not committed. Still need to confirm some checks. There will be a status update at 0540 Zulu.
Copy that. 0540.
Good copy.
In RCO LC, any status on step number 17, page 43, S-band open loop signal strengths?
In work.
Copy that.
LC, this VM.
VM, go ahead, sir.
SIGI alignment complete.
Copy that. Check step 28. Step 29, VM verify SIGI heading.
SIGI heading nominal at 120.163 degrees.
Copy that. Check step 29. And this is the LC. Step number 30 is not required for today's operation. Step number 31, CE, verify launch day RBF checklist is complete.
Launch day RBF checklist is complete.
Check step 31. OSIM, verify launch site is cleared of all personnel. Pad condition red. Set warning light to red. Verify warning light is red.
Launch site is clear and area warning light is red.
Copy that. Check step 32. Step 33, PCC, apply avionics external power for the following system.
Transponder on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Required avionics on external power.
Copy that. Check step 33. Step 34, RCO, begin transponder interrogation at time 052350 Zulu. Do you copy that? 052350 Zulu.
RCO copies 052350 Zulu.
Copy that. Check step 34. And RCO still standing by step 17. At this time, steps 34.1 through 34.5 are not required. In RCO LC, please move to the engineering net. And RCO, please move back to engineering that.
LC, this is the RCO on countdown net.
Ahead, sir.
Readouts are on their way.
Copy that. And RCO, can you read back those strengths over the net?
Stand by, LC. We're still waiting to receive them via email.
Copy that. And RCO, as soon as you get confirmation that the data has been sent, we will continue with our power down.
Sending you the email as we speak.
Copy that.
LC, this is the RCO. The readout should be in your inbox as we speak. I'm prepared to read signal strengths over the net.
Copy that. Read the signal strengths over the backup countdown net to LCA.
RCO copies.
And step number 20, PCC, power down transmitters.
Proceeding.
Copy that.
Transmitters power down.
Step 21, VC, disable transmitter power for the following. Check step 20.
Transmitters powered down.
Check step 21, RCO, verify LOS all links, PCC, power down AFTS.
Copy, standby.
AFTS power down.
Copy that. Check step 23, standing by step 22.
LC, this is RCO. LS on all links.
Copy that. Check step 22. And again, LC confirming steps 34.1 through steps 34.5 are not required. Standing by step number 35 at T-minus 30 minutes.
LC, this is LCA.
Go ahead, sir.
Signal strengths received on step 17.
Copy that. Check step 17. And all stations were currently complete through step number 34.5, page 46.1, standing by step number 35 at T-minus 30 minutes. The LV is working no issues this time. The SV is working no issues. And the range is go for weather. And step 35, PCC, apply avionics external power for the following system.
AFTS on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Check step 35, RCO, verify C-band transponder is trackable on external power.
Proceeding.
And step 37, PCC, power on transmitters.
Proceeding.
Standing by step 36 and 37.
Transmitters powered on.
Check step 37, VC, enable transmitter power for the following.
Transmitters power enabled.
Check step 38, PCC, evaluate transmitter bus voltage and current.
Proceeding.
And RCO, verify AOS on link 40, 60, 70, and 85.
LC, this is the RCO on countdown net. Please say again.
Verify AOS on links 40, 60, 70, and 85. Step 40, page 47.
AOS all links.
Copy that. Check step 40.
LC, this is PCC. Transmitter bus power nominal.
Copy that. Check step 39. Standing by step number 36. Transponder tracking on external power.
LC, this is the RCO on countdown net. Step 36, transponder trackable on external power.
Copy that. Check step 36. All stations were currently complete through step 40, page 47 of the Minotaur Fine Launch checklist. At this time, I'll poll for a readiness for FTS external power test. All stations report go. VM?
VM is go.
BLC?
BLC's go.
PCC?
PCC is go.
FTS?
FTS is go.
OSM?
OSM's go.
MIFGO?
MIFGO's go.
Copy that. Check step 41. All stations go. OSM, verify FTS A and B safe.
FTS is safe.
Check step 42. MIFGO, bring up UHF transmitters with tone 4 on.
Stand by.
Copy that.
All stations stand by for 1 Alpha command carrier. CSC, enable tone 4. Command, bring up station 1 Alpha. Bronze 1 Alpha, switch to standby transmitter. LC, 1 Alpha command carrier up, standby transmitter with tone 4.
Copy that. Check step 43. FTS, apply external power to FTS A and B.
FTS external power on.
Check step 44, BLC, evaluate FTS A and B voltage and current and AGC voltages.
Proceeding. FTS external power nominal. AGCs for FTS-A are 3.60 and FTS-B are 3.74.
Copy that. Check step 45. OSM, verify FTS is nominal.
FTS is nominal.
Check step 46. MIFCO, send arm command for 2-second duration and continue tone 4.
Roger, on my mark, sending 2-second arm. 3, 2, 1, mark. 1, 2, arm sent, arm removed. CSC, send tone 4. LC, arm removed, tone 4 enabled.
Copy that. Check step 47. Step 48, BLC, verify receiver arm indication.
FTS arm indication verified.
Check step 48, OSM, verify receiver arm indication.
FTS arm indication verified.
Copy that. Check step 49. All stations were currently complete through step 49, page 49 of the Minotaur final launch checklist, holding no steps open at this time. The LV and SV are both green, and weather is go. Standing by step number 50, BLC limit checks at T-minus 20 minutes. Off console.
LC, this is SBTC on CDNet.
This is LCA, go.
SV battery is topped off and done charging.
Copy.
LC, this is Rock on countdown.
This is LCA, go ahead, Rock.
Reporting RF deconfliction procedures are in effect.
Copy.
This is the LC, standing by step number 50, T-minus 20 minutes.
Welcome back to our live mission coverage of ORS-5. We have a new launch time of 2:04 a.m. Eastern Time, and with me is Trina Patterson, Communications Manager for Orbital ATK, and you are Launch Vehicles Division, right?
Correct.
And where do we stand?
So weather's cooperating. We're proceeding into the count. The gantry has been rolled back, and as you can see, we have a beautiful view of the Minotaur 4 rocket on the pad.
Yeah, that is spectacular.
It's
absolutely
very spectacular.
sitting there and ready to go. Working, no issues that we know of at this point in time.
No issues. Range is green.
Mission coverage is going to continue through the insertion of the spacecraft into its final orbit approximately 24 minutes after liftoff. You can also follow tonight's mission on Twitter at Orbital ATK, at 45th Space Wing, and at 50th Space Wing, hashtag ORS-5. We are currently less than 20 minutes now from launch. The launch team just confirmed that the T-20 launch limit checks are go. The next major event will occur at T-minus 16 minutes when the launch conductor for tonight's mission, Carl Seelant of Orbital ATK, will conduct the final launch readiness poll. This is Minotaur Mission Control at approximately T-minus 18 minutes and change, and we are continuing and counting down the launch of the U.S. Air Force ORS-5 satellite. Trina, back to you and I again, and thanks again for being here. It's going to be a great evening here. We're looking good now. Keeping my fingers crossed. I'm sure this is a big night for you folks.
This is a big milestone for Orbital ATK to launch the Minotaur rocket from Cape Canaveral, and we're very excited to be here.
Okay, the Minotaur rocket. This is a Minotaur 4. Tell us about the rockets being used in tonight's launch.
So it comes from a line of Minotaur family, and we have launched 26 missions, and this is a Minotaur 4. It will be our 6th Minotaur 4 mission.
And you have a whole...
We have a whole family, so we have a...
Oh, they're doing the poll. We're doing the poll. Let's go straight to the poll.
Sounds good.
MM is go.
OMM.
OMM go.
ROC, range status.
This is Rock. Range status is proceeding.
Orbital.
Orbital go.
SVMD.
SVMD is go.
LD.
LD is go.
Copy that. All stations report go. Check step 653. Standing by step 54. T-minus 14 minutes.
So now the Minotaur family of rockets, it's really a kind of an expanded class of a lot of variants, right?
There are a lot of variants, and as I said, this will be the 26th launch of our Minotaur line of vehicles. This one is actually a Minotaur 4 launch vehicle, and it is made up of excess assets from our ICBM fleet, and we take those as the first, second, and third stage, and then we combine it with new state-of-the-art Mach avionics and new commercial motors.
And now the Minotaur 4 for tonight's uses the 3 stages, correct?
Correct. So the first, second, and third stage are decommissioned Peacekeeper motors, and then we have 2 new upper stage motors that are built by Orbital ATK.
Trina, thanks so much, and we're looking forward to hearing a lot more from you. We've got a beautiful night here.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the vehicle's on the pad, and I think in a few moments we might still get some more from launch conductor Carl Seelant on the final launch readiness poll, which should take place pretty quickly here. And we already did that whole poll, was already done. That poll's finished. So we moved on from the poll itself, and this is Minotaur Mission Control, and we are approximately now 15 minutes and 20 seconds from liftoff. Trina, you've got some animation that you can show us on Minotaur 4 mission, right?
I do, and obviously this animation is not going to be in real time, so let's look at that. And as you can see, the first stage motor will ignite, boosting the rocket from Launch Complex 46 here at the Cape Canaveral. This first stage will fire for a little less than a minute, at which point right here we see second stage ignition. And again, this is going to burn for just about a minute.
And now you've got, after the second stage, so each stage burns for about a minute, right?
Yes. So, you know, after 2 minutes into flight, the third stage will ignite, and about 20 seconds later, the payload fairing, which protects the spacecraft during the rocket ascent throughout the atmosphere, we'll see that in just a minute, that will jettison away.
And then there it is, and the spacecraft is then exposed.
Correct. At this point, the third stage begins a coast period that lasts for a little more than 10 minutes before stage 3 separates from the rocket and the fourth stage ignites and burns a little more than a minute. Now, normally on a Minotaur 4 mission, this is when we would put the spacecraft into orbit, but on this mission, we're actually have an additional stage that it's going to do what we call a plane change. So it's going to turn it and put it into a equatorial orbit.
That's a pretty big deal, too, when you're making that plane change and adding that
We're making a
extra
pretty
stage.
big left turn to get us into the equatorial orbit. So finally, about 28 minutes after launch, having traveled over 6,100 miles downrange and reached an orbit of 327 miles above the Earth, the spacecraft will separate from the rocket, and then the ORS spacecraft will be ready to start on its mission.
So really, in about 25 minutes after liftoff.
About 28, yeah.
28 minutes after liftoff.
Correct.
Spacecraft's already in that low Earth orbit.
Correct.
And that's where this one is going, into a low Earth orbit, correct?
Right on the equator.
Right. So, Trina, this is Minotaur Launch Control, and we are now closing in now on about just 13 minutes from launch of the ORS-5 satellite aboard a Minotaur 4 rocket. And moments ago, range safety confirmed that all hazard areas are verified and we're clear from launch, which is a good thing, right?
Nobody's out fishing.
No fishermen out there in the middle. And that's one good thing about launching in the middle of the night.
That's true.
Tonight's launch takes place from Launch Complex 46, or LC-46, at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. These launches are managed by the U.S. Air Force's 45th Space Wing, commanded by Brigadier General Wayne Monteith. Earlier this week, General Monteith recorded a special message for tonight's launch.
Welcome to tonight's launch of the Orbital ATK Minotaur mission flying ORS-5. I'd like to start by thanking our mission partners for tonight: Orbital ATK, Space Florida, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the Space and Missile System Center. It's partnerships like these that have allowed the United States Air Force to break barriers since 1947 and the 45th Space Wing to break barriers for the last 25 years. Tonight's mission represents our third launch in just 12 days and our 14th launch this calendar year. That represents over 1/4 of all spacelift missions in the entire world, bolstering our claim as the world's premier gateway to space. And speaking of breaking barriers, this is the first launch ever of the Minotaur vehicle from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. And it is the first mission from Launch Complex 46 since January of 1999, when Athena last flew, a period of 6,785 days. With this mission, we will have demonstrated our ability to support every vertical launch system in the U.S. inventory. On a personal note, this mission is important to me because just over 23 years ago, I was sitting nuclear alert with direct command and control of these 3 rocket motors. That's pretty darn cool. So, go Minotaur, go ORS-5, go Sharks.
So back in the 50s and 60s, America was really excited. Space was new territory. Nobody knew what was going on. It was kind of like the final frontier. It was the unknown, and you realize that we're doing things that nobody else has even attempted because they thought it wasn't possible.
In terms of breaking barriers, some of that stuff is written in blood, and that's easily seen here on Cape Canaveral.
11, this is Houston. You are go for TLI.
When we talk about going to Mars, or we talk about putting a man on the moon again, we're going to have to break other barriers to get there again.
And I mean, I can't even tell you how many launch complexes we have on base, but each and every one has a story behind it. Parking spots that are set aside for former astronauts. You see all of these launch complexes that were once operational, and you can kind of see, where we were and how we've gotten to where we are today. Thinking about the history and the guys that came before us, they're brave. I can't imagine sitting on top of a rocket and getting launched into outer space.
We don't have an innovation program. We have an innovation culture, where if you've got a better way of doing things, bring it forward. Let's talk about it, and let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? We have to go back to the old way of doing business? No, this is how you move forward. You pull a lever and see what happens. Okay, if that works, great. Now let's pull another lever, and let's pull a third lever. And if the third lever doesn't work, okay, let's push that one back, and let's pull lever number 4. That's how you move this ball forward. You don't get there just by taking baby steps or by avoiding risk. You get it by managing risk and giving people the opportunity to tell their story and bring their ideas forward. And you embrace those ideas. My boss says, go fast. If it's within your authority, you don't have to ask permission. His boss says, be bold. And the Chief of Staff of the Air Force says, as a wing commander, I trust you. If you can't make a difference with go fast, be bold, and you're trusted, you will never make a difference in this business.
2, 1, 0, liftoff.
We're now just about 8 minutes until launch with the Minotaur 4 on the launch pad there with the ORS-5 satellite atop. And I am now joined by Lieutenant Colonel Chad Malone, and he's the Division Chief from the Space and Missile Systems Center's Launch Enterprise Services Directorate. I had to read it to make sure I got it correct, because that's a heck of a title,
It
Colonel.
is, John. It sure is.
Thanks again for being with us here. What is the Launch System Directorate, and what does it do?
Well, the Launch Systems Enterprise Directorate, simply stated, launches when and where the nation needs. We launch national security satellites by partnering with industry to develop, procure, and operate expendable launch vehicle systems. It's also known as LE, and LE has 2 key programs, the Rocket Systems Launch Program and the Evolved Expendable Launch Vehicle Program. This will be RSLP's 711th launch, and EELV has an unprecedented 100% mission success rate.
Nothing wrong with that. That's pretty
No,
darn
sir.
good. And your division's role in this ORS-5?
Absolutely. We have 2 key roles. My division actually provided the decommissioned ICBM motors to the commercial contractor Orbital ATK. Our second role has been to be the lead program manager from a launch vehicle standpoint, and that aids the operationally responsive space office so that they can focus on the satellite and the ground portions of the mission.
I'm fascinated by these rocket motors. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Absolutely. Well, I think you've heard earlier tonight that the first 3 stages of the ORS-5 mission are actually decommissioned ICBM motors, and they are the SR-118, 119, and 120. They're almost 8 feet in diameter, which means a professional basketball player could stand in there no problem without hitting his head. They weigh about the same as a medium-sized house, or 100,000 pounds, and they provide 500,000 pounds of thrust at liftoff.
So they get out of Dodge pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
And real quick, you're a local boy, and I know your son is here, and you were at Patrick, so this
Absolutely.
is exciting for you.
This is very exciting. I'm glad to be back and being able to participate in this mission. Absolutely.
Colonel, thanks so much for taking time out, and enjoy the launch. Coming up here now in under 6 minutes, about 5 minutes and 40 seconds until liftoff here, and this is Minotaur Mission Control. You can see the vehicle out on the launch pad as we're closing in now on 5 minutes to launch. And in just a second here, I'm going to be joined by Mark Bontrager. He is the Vice President of Spaceport Operations at Space Florida. And Mark, you're here. You made it. You stayed with us all night waiting for the launch. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here, John.
And while we're talking, we're going to be showing some the stacking of this rocket for this mission and Spaceport's role in this launch.
Space Florida played a major role in getting this pad ready for this rocket to launch today. We've been working on this pad for the last 5.5 years and are very pleased to play a role in enabling another launch complex at the Cape Canaveral Spaceport to be a place where launch activity is taking place.
And you and I were talking earlier. This is the first launch of this off this pad in some 18 years.
Yes,
you
sir.
had to do a lot of work to get it ready.
Yes, sir. We completely had to redo the underground communications room. The entire mobile access stand was refurbished with all of the major systems, and it's worked flawlessly tonight. And I'm very proud of the fact we've been able to get there.
How does real quick here, how does Space Florida enable other companies to grow in Florida, the aerospace company?
Our job is to make Florida the best place in the world for aerospace business to happen. And so we have a number of tools that the legislature's empowered us with to make Florida a great place for aerospace business.
Well, we're sure happy everything is going the way it is. And, you guys are doing a terrific job promoting Florida and promoting the state. And, I wanted to ask you, you've also got a balance. You've got to balance. This was an old Trident test.
Right.
You're balancing the needs of the Air Force, the Navy, and commercial industry, right?
Absolutely, and that's a wonderful role we get to play in ensuring that all of those can all thrive and succeed here at the Cape Canaveral Spaceport.
An exciting night here. You can see that vehicle out there. It really has to make you feel proud and excited at the same time, because you've got for the first time out there in 18 years using this launch pad that you guys worked so hard on here.
Here. So absolutely very, very proud to be a part of this, and John, we're super excited about this. What's going to happen here in the next few minutes?
Yeah, we're looking now at coming up on 3 minutes, Mark, and thank you so very much for spending the time with us.
Absolutely glad to do it.
From here on, we are going to listen in to the launch net and launch conductor Carl Sealant as he leads the team through the final count.
And VM, verify flight computer auto sequencer started.
Stand by.
LC rock count.net.
Go ahead.
Brand green.
Copy that. LC, check step 85.
Auto sequencer started.
Check 86, BLC
We are now
verified.
inside of 2-minute limit. Checks are go. T-minus 2 minutes and counting.
Arm enable.
Arm enabled.
Check 88, PCC RMS and A's.
SNA's armed.
Check 89, PCC arm AD release.
Relays armed.
Check 90, PCC enable ISA ODMs.
ODMs enabled.
Check 91. VN confirm GPB is go.
GPV is go.
Check step 91.1, standing by 92 at T-minus 1 minute. Orb TM, start LCR Dewey.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Step 93, VM, verify stage select activated.
VM is go for launch.
Check step 93. T-minus 30 seconds and counting.
ORS-5.
Minus 20. T-minus 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of the Minotaur 4 rocket carrying the ORS-5 spacecraft for the United States Air Force.
Goal supersonic.
Check step 94, 95, 96, 97.
Vehicle avionics power is nominal.
LC, RCO, countdown net, liftoff, first motion time.
Mach 2, motor pressure nominal.
0.0.224. I repeat, on time, decimal 223.
Passing Mach 3 at maximum stage 1 thrust of 534,000 pounds. Passing Mach 4, vehicles half of original mass.
Stage 1 set, stage 2 ignition.
Stage 2 motor pressure is nominal.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal.
BCC power off, G2 cooling.
Hearing the voice of Carl Sealant providing
Vehicle
launch
avionics and
vehicle
power systems
ascent
performing as
data.
expected. GNC cooling off.
Check step 2. Step 1 and work.
T plus 85 seconds at maximum stage 2 thrust of 330,000 pounds.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal.
In RCO, have you got AOS-JD TMA?
LC, RCO, AOS, JDMTA.
Check step 3.
Approaching stage 2 burnout at 115 seconds, followed by a 10-second coast and 2-3 ignition.
Stage 2 burnout.
Stage 2 separation, stage 3 ignition. Stage 3 motor pressure nominal.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal. Vehicle is approaching the stage 3 gate.
Variant separation confirmed.
Vehicle attitude and flight path are nominal.
Plus 3 minutes. We have maximum thrust of 73,000 pounds.
Stage 3 burnout. Guidance solution converged. Stage 4 ignition will occur at T plus 831 seconds.
This is Minotaur Launch Control, and as you just heard, we just had third stage motor burnout. The rocket has now entered a 10-minute coast phase. Liftoff was at 2:04 a.m. Eastern Time. And now, as we wait for the next milestone, as the ORS-5 continues on its way to orbit, let's learn more about the U.S. Air Force's ORS-5 mission.
ORS-5 is a space situational awareness spacecraft. It was a STRATCOM urgent need, and it's going to be scanning the geosynchronous belt for any threats that might be out there.
Operationally Responsive Space, or ORS, is an innovative concept of meeting joint space requirements within months instead of years, and getting critical battle space information into the hands of those who need it as quickly as possible. The Space and Missile Systems Center's ORS office is headquartered out of Los Angeles Air Force Base, with an operating office at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. The mission of the ORS office is to provide assured space power focused on timely satisfaction of the Joint Force Commander's needs.
The Operationally Responsive Space Office was really created by Congress in 2007 in response to the perception or concerns that space acquisition was slow, wasn't agile enough, it wasn't rapid enough, and it wasn't responsive to the Joint Force Commander needs. The first thing, we're focused on the urgent needs of the Joint Force Commander. Our second area of concern that we focus on is enabler activities, supporting and investing in those activities that will reduce the time and cost of bringing things on orbit or providing space capabilities. And then the third thing is kind of a separate piece, which we call the engagements activity, where we go out to combatant commanders, we go out to COCOMs, and talk to them about the capabilities that the ORS office can bring to bear, how we can help them meet their needs. We're not talking in all cases that it's going to be a material solution. In some cases, it can be something as simple as changing a tactic, technique, and procedure. So that's really what the ORS office was created and stood up to do, was to provide these rapid response capabilities to the warfighter.
ORS-5, also known as SensorSat, built by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Lincoln Laboratory, is designed to scan for other satellites and debris to aid the U.S. military's tracking of objects in geosynchronous orbit, replacing capability previously provided by the Space-Based Space Surveillance, or SBSS, mission.
ORS-5 is a Pathfinder program in so many ways. This is the first time that we're launching a Minotaur 4 from Cape Canaveral. It's also commercial contracted, so it's a very new way of doing launch services for SMC. So we're having a lot of lessons learned from this experience, but I think it's a great way for us to launch small satellite capabilities into orbit.
The Multi-Mission Space Operations Center's ground system will be used by Air Force Space Command's 1st Operations Squadron from Schriever Air Force Base in Colorado to operate the satellite.
This is also a Pathfinder program for MMSOC 2.1. It's going to be the foundation of enterprise ground services, and we're the first mission on this system. It's important that we're paving the way for future missions. The other way that we're a Pathfinder is with this particular technology. By designing the spacecraft around the sensor, it allows for us to decrease the size and weight of the spacecraft. It's a good demonstration of being able to put smaller spacecraft on orbit more rapidly, which I think is the direction that we're trying to go in the future.
Kind of sends out a message, a strategic message that as we're getting smarter and the technology is getting more robust, that platforms like this are coming online. And a platform like this with its capability is huge, but what other things can we come up with and develop to put up in space to be able to become a better, more robust warfighter?
So it's really fun to be part of this program. It's a small mission, small dollar value, but has such big impacts and great things coming in the future and demonstrating so many more new capabilities that I think SMC and Air Force Space Command and the greater Air Force are really going to benefit from these in the future.
ORS-5 is prepared to lift off aboard an Orbital ATK Minotaur 4 launch vehicle from Launch Complex 46 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida.
With me now is Colonel Shanaz Punjani. And Colonel, you were just there in the video, and now you're here with me live. This is great, and it's exciting. And you are the Director of Operationally Responsive Space Office.
That's correct.
And I want to thank you so much for being with us. And so my first question is, okay, Operationally Responsive Space, what's the role? What do you do?
What do we do? So we're a little bit different than some of the other directorates in SMC. Our job is really to answer warfighter needs on a more rapid timeline and still within certain cost constraints. So when we look at the ORS-5 mission, that mission was done in, the contract was awarded in 2014, and we're launching in just a little over 3 years later. So that is an extremely rapid timeline for typical space systems that can be acquired anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And the cost threshold for this, which includes the satellite, the launch vehicle, and the ground system for under $100 million. Again, when you look at typical systems, some of them out there, especially some of our exquisite imaging systems, can be up to $1 billion just for the satellite.
So you really do you get your money's worth out of this.
You do. You don't get everything,
right?
But you get
you don't have
you get
all the
what
bells
you need.
and whistles,
That's
right?
correct. We don't.
But you do get what you need.
Yes.
And you get it at a reasonable cost, and you get it in an expedited period of time.
Exactly.
That and that has to mean a lot to not just to you in the Air Force, but the entire military to be able to do that.
It does.
And this ORS-5 satellite, I've heard it described as operational demonstration.
It is. So it's an operational demonstration, operational prototype. We use lots of different flavors to talk about it. So typically a system like this, when you're talking about, we call it payload, Class C, the bare bones types of approaches, they tend to be prototypes. We're going to have them for about 3 years on orbit, and then that's pretty much considered the useful life. So we call them operational prototypes to kind of set expectations across the rest of the community. This does not have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have a lot of the things that the exquisite systems that have been in development for 5 to 10 years would have.
A couple part question. ORS. Okay, so what is it going to do when it's up there, as best as you can say? What's its role?
So its job is it's going to be in low Earth orbit, and it's going to look at the geosynchronous belt. Why do we care about the geosynchronous belt? Well, for example, a lot of our communications birds are out there. Your direct TV, your satellite TV, so your Super Bowl, that's where you're getting your Super Bowl stream from. So we care about the geosynchronous belt because it's precious real estate, and we have a lot of really important satellites up there, and we want to make sure that what's supposed to be up there is up there, and that there's nothing else up there that shouldn't be up there. So we want to be able to know what's out there. So this satellite is a telescope, essentially a telescope. It looks up at the geosynchronous belt. It's a change detection agent. So what does that mean? It means essentially it goes past 1 and it takes an image. Past 2 takes another image. It compares past 1 to past 2. Is it the same? If it is, good. If not, let's do some. Let's go take another look at it.
Colonel, thank you so much for spending time. It's been a long night, but worth it, right?
Very well worth it. This was amazing.
Terrific. Thanks again so very much.
Thank you.
"60 seconds to plan stage 4 ignition."
T plus 13 minutes.
This is a Minotaur launch control. We are 13 minutes and 20 seconds into the launch, and the Minotaur rocket is about to end its stage 3 coast phase. Isn't that right, Trina?
Correct. So in a minute or so, the third stage will separate from the launch vehicle, and we'll see that fourth stage ignite. You're going to hear the launch conductor, Carl Sealant, start to say planned. As we go into the next phase, we actually lose telemetry because we're going over the range and we lose our ground assets. So we'll pick that up again about fifth stage burn. So you'll hear his call signs change just a little bit as we go forward in this mission.
And we're going to be listening in, I think, to those call signs here momentarily from the launch conductor, Carl Sealant. And again, it's because you just basically
burn for approximately 70 seconds.
Can't see the bird, right? Can't
right,
hear it. Can't talk to it.
Yeah, the range assets can't see the bird.
Right.
Parking orbit of 400 by 600 kilometers with an inclination of 24.6 degrees.
Plan Stage 4 burnout.
During this approximately 10-minute coast.
With Stage 4 burnout, we enter another 10-minute coast phase. So while we have the time, let's take a look at a video produced by the U.S. Space and Missile Command.
The attainment of an operational intercontinental ballistic missile is a vital concern to the national security. In June of 1954, this mission was established by the Chief of Staff in a priority directive to the Commander, ARDC.
I came to believe that innovation is in our blood. We have been breaking barriers since 1947.
Go Atlas.
It's who we are.
Go GPS.
The multi-domain, multi-component, coalition-friendly command and control has moved forward because we've been the connective tissue for the joint team.
The Atlas 5 rocket launches from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida, carrying the GPS 2F-12 satellites into orbit.
About $90 billion of the annual U.S. economy flows through the route of GPS. And this team here at the United States Air Force and at SMC really pulls it together, and they just deliver incredible capabilities. It's an incredible impact to the nation and to our warfighters.
It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
We did high G and low G versions.
We are the finest Air Force on the planet.
And the capabilities that this spacecraft brings for the guys and gals out in the field who are fighting the fight is unbelievable. Literally the thousands of people that it takes to get here.
The Delta IV Heavy launches from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida, carrying the NRO payload into orbit.
SMC! I've seen what you can do from afar, and I've admired it. Now let's see what we can do together. It's my honor to be a part of this incredible team. We have to shape SMC into an organization that's focused on rapidly delivering space warfighting construct capabilities.
That is a top-notch performance, and getting promoted at this point is awesome. So congratulations again.
Really neat to be able to bring kind of the warfighter perspective and the background that I have, to a lot of the capabilities that space is providing. So it really means a lot to me personally, and I'm honored to be part of Team SMC.
Reports all present were accounted for, sir.
Containing the third SBIRS geosatellite touches down here at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida.
It's a kickoff to our 70th birthday. When you look at what our Air Force has done for the last 70 years, extraordinary things, been breaking barriers since 1947. We're going to continue breaking barriers. We have the most amazing Air Force on the planet, the most technologically savvy, globally aware, dominant Air Force on the planet.
The Atlas 5, a mobile launch platform, weigh over 2 million pounds. Traveling at a speed of 2 to 3 miles per hour, the rocket will take approximately 20 minutes to make its way a quarter mile to the launch pad. The Atlas 5 rocket launches from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida, carrying the third SBIRS geosatellite into orbit.
It's a culmination of years of work at getting this rocket together, the team that makes sure that mission assurance happens day in and day out, that we have assured access to space. Put a pricey satellite on the top of a rocket and launch it into orbit is never a trivial matter. And partnering with the 45th Space Wing, ULA, and LE out at SMC to get us here today.
Proud to be SMC. Go SBIRS!
SMC continues support to the intelligence community with the launch of NROL-79. Arriving from Marsh Air Reserve Base, the C-17 has landed here at Los Angeles International Airport.
It's not something you think about day to day, but in activities like this and at launch, you get a sense of affirmation of like what you're doing is definitely important, involving the warfighter, giving them the comms that they need to do their day-to-day mission.
The Delta IV rocket launches from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Florida.
And we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the WGS-9 mission for the United States Air Force. What a great way to celebrate the Air Force's 70th birthday.
What you do is extremely important for not just our Air Force Space Command, but for the nation. You provide them an incredible advantage with the capabilities that you develop that have fundamentally revolutionized how we fight and win our wars today for our nation.
This is a Minotaur Launch Control. We're now approaching 21 minutes into the mission, and we've got about 5-6 more minutes to go, roughly, before ignition of the Minotaur rocket's 5th stage rocket motor.
So, John, while we were in that video, we actually deployed 3 government CubeSats off of the 4th stage.
Now, the CubeSats, for people who don't know, are those little,
really small,
but
very important.
Absolutely very important. Now, we keep talking about Minotaur. Now, Minotaur's been used for a lot of things.
It has.
Including a moon mission, right?
Correct. In 2013, we actually launched what we call LADI for NASA out of the Wallops Flight Facility to the moon.
Now, we're looking at some of this video here,
yes,
right?
Yes, this is a time lapse. You can see us stacking the motors very quickly.
It's a little faster than it would normally go, right?
A little faster, yes, correct.
And this would have been that LADI mission?
This is the LADI mission. And what's unique to Minotaur is we can mix and match those motors to create a vehicle that meets the customer needs. So, and it also gives them a dedicated ride to space.
And there would be the rollback.
Correct.
And ready for launch on a beautiful, looked like a beautiful morning, right?
And you'll start to see some satellites come overhead in this time lapse.
And yeah, and now you were saying you guys have launched from Alaska, and from California, right? And
Virginia, and now Florida.
Where did this launch from?
This came from Wallops.
From Wallops in Virginia.
In Virginia.
And there it goes.
So now with this launch today, we actually launched from all 4 corners of the United States, if you will.
Everybody's in plane. It's about time to get here to Florida.
Yeah.
So now we've got, what, a little less than a couple minutes to go here, 2-3 minutes or so, to ignition of the 5th stage motor. Now, ordinarily, Minotaur 4 rockets have what? 4 stages.
Correct.
But
and this LADI launch that you're seeing right here, it was a 5-stage Minotaur, so this is a Minotaur 5. But the one we launched today was a Minotaur 4, but we did have 5th stage.
Okay.
So the 5th stage is used to change the direction of the spacecraft into its equatorial orbit. So to put it simply, we're basically making a left turn with that 5th stage.
So when we're back. Here's the video again that we have of that launch, I believe, right? Now, that's LADI again that we're looking at, the launch of LADI. And that is spectacular, how quick that Minotaur rocket gets off the pad, as we saw.
Yeah, Minotaur launches are one of my favorite rockets to watch, just for that and for just the sound of the rocket launching into the sky.
And
beautiful. And here you'll be able to see some of the separation like we saw tonight, and then you'll also see the payload fairing jettison.
And it happens quickly because these stages only last a minute each, right?
Correct.
They burn out in a minute.
Very fast.
And then you go to the next stage. And I think we're seeing burnout of the 1st stage coming up here, I believe, right? Pretty quickly?
Pretty quickly.
And you were saying that the performance on these things and the reliability on these rocket motors is pretty spectacular, considering they're old. People may not know. They're the ones that were lit tonight, 28, 29 years old.
Correct. There's the fairing separation right there.
So now at that point, fairing separation, spacecraft is exposed and flying on.
So those motors were deployed at one time in silos, and now they're repurposed and used to launch a government payload at a cost-effective price and a very reliable rocket.
And we're coming up now on just about 25 minutes into the launch.
T plus 25 minutes.
Stage 4 separation. Stage 5 ignition.
Motor pressure nominal.
Attitude nominal.
Stage 5 motor the Stage 5 motor will burn for approximately 60 seconds to place the spacecraft into the final planned 600-kilometer circular orbit at 0-degree inclination. T plus 26 minutes.
Stage 4 burnout. Orbit nominal. Apogee is 604 kilometers. Perigee 599 kilometers with an inclination of 0.02 degrees.
We are moments away from separation of the spacecraft from the rocket. Let's listen.
T plus 27 minutes.
Planned LOS at ascension.
ORS-5 spacecraft was manufactured by MIT Lincoln Labs for the Operational Responsive Space Office of the United States Air Force Space and Missile Systems Center.
LC-RCO LOS for ascension.
Copy that.
Approximately 1 minute to planned payload separation.
Check step 7.
SensorSat provides the Air Force with space situational awareness for the geosynchronous Earth orbit GEO belt. T plus 28 minutes.
Approximately 30 seconds to plan payload separation. Planned payload separation.
This completes the Minotaur 4 portion of the ORS-5 mission. The first confirmation of the spacecraft separation will occur when the spacecraft makes its planned first contact at Diego Garcia in approximately T plus 42 minutes.
So we have spacecraft separation. ORS-5 is now in orbit. Congratulations to the entire mission team. And Trina, you are a great sidekick. It was so wonderful having you here.
Beautiful launch. One thing I absolutely love about my job is learning about the new spacecraft like we did tonight and meeting these men and women who work long and hard to make sure that the United States is protected on the ground and also in space.
And just another terrific night for everybody
Gorgeous.
here. Orbital ATK, kudos, Air Force, the entire mission team, launch team here. Just a spectacular job. And of course, we want to say a special thanks to the guests who joined us here to give us all their insights into this mission. I know the folks behind us are all pretty excited now, pretty happy. They can kind of exhale. And we're going to leave you tonight with another look at the liftoff of the Minotaur 4 rocket carrying that Air Force ORS-5 payload. For Trina Patterson and myself, good night. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff of the Minotaur 4 rocket carrying the ORS-5 spacecraft for the United States Air Force.
Goal supersonic.
Check step 94, 95, 96, 97.
Vehicle avionics power is nominal.
LC, RCO, countdown net, liftoff, first motion time.
Mach 2, motor pressure nominal.
0.000.224, I repeat.